If you've ever heard of the elevator game, don't try it. I know people say it's just another internet ritual. I used to think that too, until one night, the elevator stopped on a floor nobody had called, and someone got in. I'm not going to tell you which building this happened in. I still live here. I still use this elevator. Every time the doors close, I remember that night. It started with a link I probably shouldn't have clicked. A friend sent it to me late one night. Some old internet game. Apparently, it started in parts of Asia before spreading everywhere else. The rules sounded ridiculous. That's probably why I tried them. You're supposed to enter an elevator alone, late at night, and press a very specific sequence of floors. Not in order, not randomly. A sequence, exactly as it's written. If you do it perfectly, the elevator is supposed to take you somewhere that isn't your building anymore. I didn't believe a word of it. It was almost 1 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. The elevator was empty. And curiosity has a funny way of sounding like common sense when nobody's watching. So I stepped inside. The sequence began. 4th, 2nd, 6th, back to 2nd, 10th, then 5th. I waited for the doors to open and close after every stop. Exactly like the instructions said. Nothing happened. The elevator behaved exactly like an elevator should. Doors opened, nobody there. Doors closed. Again and again. When it finally reached the 5th floor, the doors slid open. The hallway was empty. Completely empty. I actually smiled. I remember thinking, this is ridiculous. I laughed at myself. Alone. In an elevator. The doors started to close. Then they stopped. Not jammed, not broken. Stopped. Exactly the way they do when someone walks into the sensor. The doors opened again. A woman was standing there. I've replayed that moment so many times that I'm no longer sure what's memory and what's imagination. She looked completely ordinary. Normal clothes, normal posture, looking down at her phone. Nothing about her stood out, except she never looked at the elevator. She looked only at me. I remembered the rules. Don't speak, don't acknowledge her. Press the button for the 1st floor. Leave the moment the doors open. Never look back. So that's exactly what I did. I pressed the button, looked only at the panel, and waited. She stepped inside anyway. The doors closed. For several seconds, it was perfectly silent. Just two strangers, standing inches apart, pretending not to notice each other. Then she spoke. "Do you live on the 5th floor?" I didn't answer. I know how rude that sounds. On any other night, ignoring someone over a simple question would have felt ridiculous. But she didn't feel like a stranger. She felt wrong. She didn't ask again. She didn't look at the floor numbers. She didn't look at the doors. She just watched me, without blinking, the entire ride down. I've never felt an elevator feel so small. When the doors opened on the 1st floor, I walked out immediately. I didn't wait for her. I didn't look behind me. I went straight into the stairwell and climbed 5 flights back to my apartment. The next morning, I convinced myself I'd imagined most of it. She was probably just another tenant, someone I'd never met, nothing more. That's what I told myself, for almost 3 weeks. Then the building installed a new tenant directory. Photos, apartment numbers, names, every resident. I found the 5th floor. Every apartment had a name. Every apartment, except one. I asked the building manager about it a few days later, trying to sound casual. He frowned. then said, "Nobody has lived there in over 2 years. The apartment's tied up in an estate dispute. No one's allowed inside. Only building management has a key." I asked if he was sure. He said he was. I still take the stairs most nights, but sometimes, when I'm tired or lazy, I still take the elevator. And every time it slows down before reaching my floor, I stop breathing. Just for a second, waiting to hear the doors open on the 5th floor. Going up,